I'm in a bushwhack section right here. Just, I can barely see the trail at times. Oh my goodness. I've got a mile and a half to get to Gregory Bald, and I hope it's not like this the whole time. Well, welcome back to the channel, guys. If you are new here, my name is Jamie McCracken, and today I'm in the Great Smoky Mountains National Park in East Tennessee. Made the drive out here to do an overnight backpacking trip. So I'm going to do about a 16 or 17 mile loop to go up to Gregory Bald Mountain via the Twentymile Trail. I drove up this little rock road, and it stopped where I needed to park at the Twentymile Trailhead. Really looking forward to this one. We're going to do it counterclockwise, hike about 5.5 miles here on day one up to backcountry site number 92, which I reserved, and that is called Upper Flats. So then we'll finish out the other 10 to 12 miles tomorrow morning, and that'll be it. Really excited to be out here. I'm doing a couple of Great Smoky Mountains backpacking trips this year. Usually I only do an annual trip, but I'm actually going to do a couple this year. So really looking forward to it. I'm out here solo, and it's a gorgeous mid-September day, right along the creek here. I'm on a pretty big trail right here. It's basically a rock road. Leaves have not changed, of course. We're in mid-September, so it's pretty green. It's somewhat hot, but we're up in elevation, so 78 degrees today, not too bad. Hope you guys will enjoy the video. Let's get to hiking. Let's get the backpacking. Beautiful. All right, up here is the trail junction, and I'm going to make a right to go counterclockwise. So we're going to head up. Not going to get onto the Appalachian Trail. That's about 4.5 miles away. But we are going to go right and do this thing counterclockwise, and tomorrow we'll come out over here. Whew. It's going to be a lot of climbing today and tomorrow morning. All right, I'm about 1.5 miles into the trek today. I am coming up on the first backcountry site, and that is 20-Mile Creek, backcountry site number 93 here in the Great Smoky Mountains. Now I'm going up to Upper Flats, which is backcountry site number 92, but we'll be coming up on that in about 3/4 of a mile, probably another mile up here. It's been a beautiful day though. The bugs are out of my face now. When we're in the shade, they like the sun. So if you're in the shade, it feels really good. It's probably about 78 degrees. I think I said that earlier. Nice and cool, but worked up a little bit of a sweat. You know, we're making a climb, nice and gradual, but we are climbing. The scenery is gorgeous though, going across a couple of those bridges. Water's flowing, really nice out here. And it's just been gorgeous so far. All right, right across the bridge, we've got our first bear tracks right here. I don't know if that's too fresh or not. Probably just came down here to get some water. Now I have not, let me turn the camera around here. That's my first sign of any kind of bear. I've not seen any scat on the trail. I've not seen any bear, of course, or I would have told you, but those do look like some mid-sized prints there. So on the lookout. This is a pretty wide trail, which is, yeah, it's pretty nice. It doesn't give you like a hardcore backcountry feel like a single track trail does, but it's pretty wide, and we're getting back up in here. And just up the trail from the bridge, right here is 20-mile campsite, backcountry site number 93. You'll see here on the sign. Doesn't look like it's being occupied, at least right now. Quite a large site back in here. You got a nice little fireplace over here that you can sit around, which is nice. Looks like plenty of room to put, I don't know, 10, 12 tents back up in here. Of course, you got the bear cables. We are going to continue up the trail. This is about 1.7 miles in, so a couple miles in from where I started if you're going counterclockwise. Lots of bridges though. Here's another one. Awesome to be out here in the Smokies. Well, I have left 20-Mile Creek behind as I continue up the trail, and it's still pretty wide, but it is really quiet up here now that we don't have the water roaring to our left or right. I'm close to about 3 miles in, and this whole thing has been a climb. So it's a gradual climb up to the Gregory Bald mountain. We won't summit until tomorrow, of course, but it's really not been too bad. It looks like we have a decent little section here. You probably can't tell on camera, but it hasn't been super steep or anything. It's just gradual. And I'll let you know how many thousands of feet this is, this whole trek. I have not looked at it, so I'll have to tell you that a little bit later, but it's really quiet back up in here now that we're not along the water. I've made it up to this big trail junction, and if you can't tell, we've got one over here to the right, we've got a middle, and we've got a left split off. So if I continue straight and going right, we would get on the Appalachian Trail in about 1.5 miles via the 20-mile trail. If I go down the middle, which is where I'm going to go, I will get up to the Gregory Bald Trail. 4.5 miles is where Gregory Bald Mountain is. Then over here to the left, it looks like the Wolf Ridge Trail. And it's about 3 miles, and I know that you can loop that back around to the car where we were earlier today. But again, I'm going to continue right down this middle on the Gregory Bald Trail to get up to the mountain tomorrow. And I'm about 1.5 miles away from my campsite, Upper Flats Backcountry Site number 92 here in the Great Smoky Mountains. Well, before we continue on, I need to hydrate. I picked this up at Bucky's in Crossville, Tennessee on the way here. I also got 1 Smart Water, so I got 2 liters of water total. Oof. And of course I do have my Sawyer Squeeze, the filter water as well. So no worries there, we won't run out of water. I like to pick up a couple of liters on the way, and that's what I did this morning. So, all right, let me get my trekking poles. Let's keep going on the Gregory Bald Trail. It is officially rugged now. I'm on a single path trail, and it's more how I like it. Got a little bit of a blowdown right here. Not too bad. We are amongst all the rhododendrons now back in here, that's for sure. Looks like we got another little blowdown over here as well, but it's not nearly as big. Here you go. Just like this. Whoop. That was easy. Ooh, here's some overgrown section here. Oh, goodness. Well, welcome to camp. This is backcountry site number 92 here in the Great Smoky Mountains. It is called Upper Flats, and I've arrived around 5:15 p.m. You can see the bear cable is right here, and to my surprise, there are 3 gentlemen over there from South Carolina. I met them, and they were super sweet, super nice guys. I did not know I was sharing a campsite, and quite frankly, it's very rare occurrence. I've only shared 1 campsite in all of my miles out here in the Smokies, and I've hiked over 100 out here at this point. But I was checking out the campsite. I was gonna get tucked back in here. The creek is running back in here, but it's kind of on a slope. So those guys have taken the good camp over there. A lot of flat spots over there. But I think I may set up camp right here, right off trail, or over this way as well. It's pretty flat. So. Really beautiful day. Let me check out the stats before we start setting up camp. It is 5:15 p.m. so it looks like we've done 4.4 miles and we gained an elevation of 1,222 feet today. So nice little, I would say, easy day, because that was a gradual 1,200 feet that we gained. And tomorrow we're going to continue up to get up to Gregory Bald and loop back around. So I'm really looking forward to it, but I'm also going to really enjoy camp tonight. So Upper Flats, backcountry site number 92. Let's set up camp. Got the tent all set up, and it is right by the fire pit. Really nice pitch here. Now I'm going to get into my tent, because one, the bugs are starting to eat at me. If you can see the little bites I got on my arm, and I put my pants on so they wouldn't eat up my leg. Anyways, I'm going to get in my tent. I'm going to pump up my brand new sleeping pad. This is the Nemo Tensor Extreme for extreme conditions. Obviously not going to be in extreme conditions tonight, but this has an R value of over 8. My Quasar, just for reference, which I sold a few months back, it had an R value of just over like 3. So this thing is going to be super warm. Definitely overkill for mid-September here in Tennessee, East Tennessee. But nonetheless, I wanted to try it out. And yeah, let's get in the tent and let's pump this up and get away from all the bugs. All right, in my tent, away from the bugs, I've got like a dozen bites. They're just going straight for my veins. All right, like I said out there, this is the Nemo Tensor Extreme. It's got an R value of over 8. Definitely overkill for this camping trip, backcountry trip, but we just won't use the sleeping bag if we don't need it tonight. I did test this out at home and blow it up to make sure it was okay, but it's black, which is really cool. It's got a green underbelly. And I got I think it's the regular wide. So yeah, regular wide, which means long would fit a person over 6 foot. I'm only 5'10". So I just got the regular. My Quasar, my last sleeping pad, was long and wide. So it reduces the weight as well. And like I said, this is just over a pound, which is incredible. So let's unroll this. It's kind of fun because I was able to dial in that last sleeping pad over the last 2 years and know what I want next. And for most of my trips, this is going to be excellent. Obviously, again, this will be overkill for this trip, but I'm going to blow this up and let you guys see what it looks like. It opens up just like my old sleeping pad, except it's actually a lot easier when I want to deflate to get this up and out and put it back in. The last one was a lot harder. See how it just snapped right back in? So they've definitely improved that feature on their sleeping pads, but got my little flex tail tiny pump right here, and off we go. I think it's going to take me about 3.5 minutes. I tested it at home, so I'll let you know when it's done. All right, I have the brand new Nemo Tensor Extreme all pumped up. Now, like I said, this is the regular wide. If you remember, if you've been part of this channel for a little bit, I have used the Nemo Quasar for like the last 2 years, and I got the long wide. So this one I just got the regular wide, and what that means is wide is the width right here, so I've got 25 inches, which is great. I'll be able to turn in my sleep and not fall off the pad. However, I did not get the long, but as you can see, the regular still fits me. I'm 5'10". Just keep that in mind. And I have a little bit more space in my tent now. This is perfect for me. And it's always good to have extra wiggle room. So I'm always going to get a 25-inch pad because just a lot more space to, I'm a side sleeper. So I'm heating up on this pad. My butt and my back, when I was laying on it, I could just tell immediately you get that instant heat. And whatever they do with the baffles and the baffling system and the things they do, the technology is just wild. This thing was over $200, so it's pretty awesome. Excited to have this new piece of gear in my kit, and excited to sleep on it tonight for the first time. Tonight for dinner, I'm having Heather's Choice grass-fed beef. It's actually bison, shepherd's pie. This is my absolute favorite backpacking meal, and I've got a side of marinated artichokes to go with it. I get these little packets at Trader Joe's. It's going to be a good night. While my food is rehydrating, I figured I'd show you on a paper map the route today. So we came in, obviously, from over here and drove into the 20-mile trailhead. Right here is the gate and the ranger station. I made my way up the 20-mile trail, and I am camped right here at Upper Flats, backcountry site number 92. Tomorrow we'll continue on this, it looks like Hungry Ridge is what I'll be on. I'll get up here to the Gregory Bald Trail. I will summit Gregory Bald, and then we'll come back down over here and connect with the Wolf Ridge Trail all the way back down to the, well, it looks like, yeah, we'll go right to the car. We can cut over here if we wanted to on the 20-mile loop, but I'll probably just continue on the Wolf Ridge Trail. That'll complete the loop, and that'll be it. It's always nice to have these big paper maps with you in case of anything going wrong with your phone if you have a downloaded offline map like me, so I love these things. Well, good morning. Day number 2 out here in the Smokies, and today I am climbing up to tag the summit of Gregory Bald, a beautiful mountain, almost 5,000 feet in elevation. Today we're gonna gain about 2,800 feet in climbing, so a big climb to get up there. Right now I'm on the long Hungry Ridge Trail to get up to Gregory Bald, It's a beautiful morning. I broke camp around 9:30 a.m. after eating a really good breakfast. You know, my typical oats and collagen and dried strawberries and almonds. Really, really good. But now I'm fueled up, ready to go. Got a long day, probably about a 12-mile day to finish up the loop. Right now we are on the long, hungry ridge trail up to Gregory Bald. About 2.5 miles down on the climb up to Gregory Bald. Beautiful morning. We're sitting around 65 to 67 degrees, no humidity. Feeling nice, so glad I started early. I'm still sweating a little bit, but I've got this Z-Packs merino wool t-shirt on, and what's great about it is you won't stink. It takes a long time for these to stink up because they're 100% merino wool. Well, actually, they're 95%, 5% of spandex. So, seeing a lot of coyote poop on my way up here. It's a lot of dried out. It seems pretty old, but so no fresh scat or anything, but lots of coyote poop up in here as we make the climb up the long, hungry ridge trail. I'm in a bushwhack section right here. I can barely see the trail at times. Right on the edge of the mountain too, so this isn't too bad. I was bushwhacking for a good 10 minutes. It's one thing to bushwhack, it's another thing to bushwhack while you're climbing. Goodness. Get some decent views through the trees, but that is just nasty. Looks like I got more to go. Oh, look at that, a sign. Long, hungry ridge trail. Keep going to the right. I think this is Rye Patch Peak up here. Obviously, not really mountain views. You can kind of see them through the tree over there, but this is a really beautiful flat spot. I'm gonna get a drink and we'll continue on the long, hungry ridge trail. Looks like I got more bushwhacking to do to get up to Gregory Bald. My goodness, that section was crazy. Like a mile of just like bushwhacking. All right, I'm gonna get a drink. We'll continue on the trek. Can barely make out the trail. This thing has really gotten overgrown during the summer. Barely much usage. My goodness, you can barely see the trail. Oh my goodness. I've got 1.5 miles to get to Gregory Bald, and I hope it's not like this the whole time. Oh, I gotta stepper this. I'm glad I'm wearing my pants. A lot of briars here. All right, hopefully I'm done with chest high overgrowth. I can deal with this knee high overgrowth, but my goodness, I mean, at least 1 mile of just bushwhacking up to my chest. Almost some of that stuff was over my head. It's crazy. It smelled like rotten mushroom. It's a lot of the mushrooms around, hadn't been eaten by the bugs. Here's one that's clean and nice. But yeah, nasty section of trail with about 1.5 miles to go to get up to Gregory Bald. Whew. The wind is picking up a little bit, which is nice. It looks like it's a bit of an overcast day. We got a little bit of blue sky peeking in and out. So it's keeping me really cool up here. It's probably in the upper 60s. So staying in those upper 60s is really where I like it. It's a sweet spot. All right, I can deal with this. I can actually see the trail. All right, check it out, guys. I'm at the trail junction. I had to go through another section of overgrowth, not too bad though. And now, if we turn right, we can get up to the Appalachian Trail in a couple of miles, but we are headed left on the Gregory Ridge Trail. And that'll take us up to Gregory Bald. It looks like it's just over a 1/2 mile away. So we've done the majority of the climbing that we're gonna be doing today. And we'll have a couple more ups and downs, and then we'll make our descent down Gregory Bald once we summit down the Wolf Ridge Trail. So hopefully it's not as overgrown as the long Hungry Ridge Trail. Those ridge trails, I think it's because, you know, they're right on the ridge of the mountain, and the sun and the drainage of all the water and stuff, the plants just go crazy. But yeah, turning left at the signage and heading out on the Gregory Bald Trail to get up to Gregory Bald. Just up the trail from that last signage, we got our next trail junction. I'm gonna continue straight to officially go on the Gregory Bald Trail. If you go to the right, that is the Gregory Ridge Trail. It'll also take you down to campsite number 12, which is Forge Creek campsite, backcountry site number 12. And then about 2 more miles after that, looks like 4.9, you would get out to Forge Creek Road. If you turn left here, it looks like you're kind of going off trail because this is just a no horses beyond this, past this point sign. But this is an offshoot to Gregory's Little Bald. So I'm not sure how the views are out there or anything. I'm not going to go out there today, but I think it's maybe another 1/2 mile or so. I'm going to continue on the route that I've already got planned and get up to the actual Gregory Bald. Maybe some other day we'll come up to Little Bald, especially, you know, if I ever complete the Smokies 900 Club and do all 900 miles here in the Smokies, we'll have to do this section of trail. So maybe when we do that, we'll come out to Gregory's Little Bald. But for now, I'm gonna go straight, and we are gonna be on the Gregory Bald Trail. It looks like we've got, yeah, 0.6 to the summit. Super pumped. Got a little bit more climb here. This one looks actually kind of steep, but we've done the majority of the climbing, so I think we'll be okay. I have made it to the summit of Gregory Bald here in the Great Smoky Mountains. This is just under 5,000 feet in altitude. So we're sitting at 4,949 feet. And we're just doing a 360 view so you can get the idea of, you know, the Bald Mountain. As I make my descent down the mountain, Gregory Bald, I've come to my first trail junction, just a 1/2 mile down, and I'm going to continue straight. That's where my route goes, as we will hit the Wolf Ridge Trail next. But first, I'm going to show you Sheep Pen Gap. This is backcountry site number 13 over here. You see the trail splits 2 different ways. I'm going to maybe go out here for some water. I'm going to check the map I'm running low and I'd like to be safe about this, but over here is Sheep Pen Gap. So the guys that I met last night from South Carolina, the only people I've seen the entire trek, they're going to camp here tonight. So what I'm doing in 2 days, they're going to do it in 3 days. But those guys are 75, 78, and 80 years old. Incredible. I wish I actually would have got them on film now because they all looked amazing. I'm like, my goodness, really inspiring to see people like that just continue to get out and do stuff. And I hope when I'm 80, I'm doing the same thing because I love this stuff. But anyways, here is Sheep Pen Gap. This is a nice little cubby hole tucked back in here. It looks like you got plenty of camp spots. A lot flatter than last night, what we dealt with. So we got one over here. We got one way back in there. I'm not sure if you can tell. Let me zoom in. Actually, I'll just walk over there real quick. So you got this over here. You can probably put at least 2 or 3 more tents. There's a little tent spot right there. And then even back up in here, looks like there's another, yeah. I don't know if you can see it with all the overgrowth, but so there you go. You got another tent site back in there. Really nice. So Sheep Pen Gap, backcountry site number 13. They'll have a nice stay up here, that's for sure. All right, I'm gonna check the map and see how far water is if I turn left up here and then come back to my regular route. Let me check. Here's my downloaded offline map. So the blue is what we have done. The green is still what we got to do today. Zoom in up here. So I just summited Gregory Bald right there. Sorry if it's not in focus. This camera doesn't do a great job of that. So right here I'm at Sheep Pen Gap. If I continue straight, or I'm going to continue on the Wolf Ridge Trail, connect with that to continue my route. But right here on the Gregory Bald Trail, there's I don't think you can probably tell, but there's a little bit of water coming off here. But what I can tell is this is runoff, and we're right at the beginning of the runoff. And since we're pretty high in altitude or whatnot, and there's not a ton of water up here, as far as I can see, like runoff, I doubt there's going to be much flow over there. So I'm going to continue to make the trek down. We've got a couple of, if not several, stream crossings the further we get down off the mountain. So I'm not worried about water as far as, getting water. It's just I'm running a little low. Let's see. Well, actually, I'm not too low. I've got like a half a liter left. My Sawyer squeeze has been acting up. It's not properly, it's just dripping. So it took me like 20 minutes to filter a liter this morning. So that kind of stinks. I think it's due. I think it's kaput after all the desert hikes and adventures that I've done. I've tried to back flush it several times, so that's all right though. We can get a new one. But for now, I'll survive off this until we get to our next water source, which I think it's probably 2 or 3 miles away down off the mountain. We should get some good flowing water. I just don't want to risk hiking about almost a mile out there when it's just a runoff and it looks like a short runoff. So there's probably not much water up there at all. So, all right, let's get back on the route and finish this thing off. I think we have, let's see, I think we should have about 6 or 7 miles left. Yeah, about 6 miles left, it looks like. So 6.8 miles, so about 7 miles left. It's a beautiful camp spot though here. I'd like to camp here one night. Beautiful, nice and tucked in. Trail sign here. We've got exactly a 10K back to the 20-mile ranger station, 6.2 miles to be exact here on the Wolf Ridge Trail. It's nothing but overcast now on this side of the mountain. Hopefully it's not going to rain. When I came out here, I saw the projection was like 30% for today, and so far so good. But it just looks like it's a really gloomy overcast, and I've got no blue in the sky now, so it's kind of dark up in here. But we're on the Wolf Ridge Trail heading down to the 20-mile ranger station. I had to think there for a second. So 6.2 miles away from finishing the loop up. I get lower and lower in elevation. You see all the acorns. I just slipped on some of these, so this is a black bear heaven around here as we make our way down into the valley. It's slightly warmer, obviously. Sun is out, has been out ever since we left the ridge up there, which is really nice, but also it's gotten considerably warmer. So it's probably approaching the high 70s now. And we've got about just over, well, probably about 3 miles left to go. And I've got about a half mile down to Dalton Branch, which is backcountry site number 95. And I hope that's where I can filter some water, because I'm pretty much out. I've just been rationing, and I've got about that much, like less than a cup. So we'll be okay though. If need be, I can get all the way to the car and I don't have to worry about it, but I'd like to get some water. All right, next trail junction here. I am at backcountry site number 95, Dalton Branch. That's back up in there. We're gonna check it out here in a second. And then I'll come back here. I came down from that way. I'll hook a wide left to continue on the trek. I've got just over 2 miles to go. But first I'm gonna see if we can get some water back up in here at Dalton Branch. It looks like we got some running water. It's not a ton, but hopefully enough to filter. Oh yeah, nice and cold too. Whew. Got some water filtered, not that much because it takes forever, but I got enough to get back. And I'm gonna have a little Chomps grass-fed, grass-finished beef stick now as a little snack. Then we got like 2.5 miles to finish off the Wolf Ridge Trail back down to the car. Trail junction, we are going to be turning right, and we are just over 1.5 miles back to the 20-mile ranger station. Another footbridge. We are ending this hike with a bang. Look at this waterfall. Wow. Oh, that is amazing. Wow. And just like that, we have made it back to where we started. So yesterday at this trail junction after the bridge, we turned right, went all the way up to Upper Flats, and then continued all the way up to Gregory Bald, summited that, and came down today on the Wolf Ridge Trail. Awesome. Got like a half mile to finish this thing up, and that'll be it. It's a great backpacking loop here in the Smokies. Oh, awesome. Quick overnight backpacking loop here in the Great Smoky Mountains. I'll put up the final stats right here. That was the Gregory Bald via the 20-mile trail, and of course it was a full loop. I did just over 17 miles and over 4,000 feet of elevation gain. Now keep in mind the mileage, you could subtract a mile to a mile and a half off of that, maybe even 2 miles, because you know the filming, running back and forth and moseying around my camp, a couple times I forgot to pause the All Trails app, but for the most part when I'm running back and forth I never pause it. So it's really about a 15.5-mile loop if you come out here and do this, and it is an awesome loop. Keep in mind I did this counterclockwise, so all those bridge crossings, those little foot paths that we did, or foot bridges there at the end, was an awesome way to finish off this trip. You could also start it that way if you want to go clockwise. But anyways, hope you guys really enjoyed the video. I'm headed over to Elkmont Campground now. Over the next few days I'm going to be doing some trail maintenance with the guys for Trails Forever. It's a really cool organization. I'm excited. I've never done something like this, so I've got a couple of camp spots over there along the river of Elkmont, and excited to get over there now. And I may do one more backpacking loop before I actually leave here in a few days, but if not, I'll definitely be back in October for when all the fall colors are here, as always, and I'm super pumped. That's one of my favorite trips to do all year, and I've got a really cool route I'm doing this year. And I'm not gonna be solo. I'm actually bringing my best friend John, so you'll get to see somebody actually backpack with me. Most of the time I'm out here doing that alone, but I'm excited to bring a friend along, and he'll get to see this beautiful place when all the leaves change. You know how beautiful it was last year and the year before. My Smokies videos always do really well, especially the October ones. So anyways, hope you guys enjoyed it. Please like if you liked the video, subscribe. Both of those things are free. If you want to join and become a member, I've got 3 different tiers there. That helps me tremendously. Just do more and more trips. I put any kind of money I earn from YouTube, whether it's AdSense or the paid memberships, etc. I put that all in my adventure fund, in my budget, and it goes toward all of these things and gear and anything that has to do with backpacking or adventuring. So just know it goes to a good place. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you in the next one.